Okay, is it audible? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. So what is the question? Some people think it is a good thing for senior managers to have much higher salaries than the workers in a company. To what extent do you agree or disagree? First of all, question type. This question is, to what extent do you agree or disagree? So on which side is this essay about? Any idea? Let's say the question is agree, disagree. So if we agree, so two paragraphs of agree and a conclusion. And if we disagree, two paragraphs of disagree and a conclusion. This is the format, because they're asking, do you agree or disagree? And they have also asked for an extent. The biggest part is they have asked, or do you agree or disagree? So the
Yes.
person, whoever has written this essay, should either agree completely or disagree completely. Let's see how it goes. And the second thing is, they have asked, to what extent do you agree or disagree? If you guys have attended my previous lectures, I clearly mentioned in the introduction paragraph, you should mention, I completely agree. What happens when you do this is, it says that you agree 100%. So is the extent clear? If I write, I completely agree.
Yes,
Perfect.
sir.
Let's read this essay and let's see how it goes. It is thought by few individuals that senior citizen, this is singular, it has to be citizens, play a crucial role in the company's management and success. Therefore, high level holders should be paid. High level holders or shareholders? Should be paid handsome salaries as compared to junior staff. Full stop. So I completely agree with this above notion. Okay, the paraphrasing is there. It says, some people think it is good for senior managers to have much higher salaries than the other workers in the company. Paraphrasing is good. The position is good, because I can clearly see I completely agree. But there is no thesis. What I mean by thesis is, you are not pointing this paragraph, introduction to the body paragraph, nor you are telling the reader any idea, nor this person has told the reader any idea that what the person thinks, like on which side he agrees, but why do they agree? Like a small thesis, which tells the reader that this is what the essay is about and this is what is upcoming. Let's go to the body paragraph. Apparently, this pay disparity acts as a motivation to other workers in the organization. To be more precise, this motivation encourage employees to work hard in their field. Okay, one thing that I can spot is a error, which I call it as systematic error. Systematic error. Any idea what is a systematic error?
No, sir.
What is non-systematic error? So again, the same thing, systematic or non-systematic. Let me simplify this one. Let's say the examiner is checking something and he sees an article mistake in the introduction. He sees that all the articles are wrong, or let's say all the punctuations are wrong. So he knows that this will be continued throughout the essay systematically.
Yes.
Are you getting my point? So if there is an error which is like a habit or something that a person does not know, for instance, spelling mistakes. If there are a lot of spelling mistakes in the introduction and the beginning lines of the body paragraph, the person knows that, okay, a lot of spelling mistakes will persist throughout the essay. That means it will continue.
Yes.
So that is not a good thing. Systematic errors should be eliminated as soon as possible. Let's say, what is a non-systematic error? I'm reading everything and just here and there I'm seeing one or two mistakes. Could be a typo, might be the person made a silly mistake because of the hurry. So that will be considered as non-systematic. That won't affect your bands too badly. But if there is a systematic error, that will affect your bands. Okay, so this will be considered as systematic because singular plural. All you have to do is, whenever you read, whenever the person whoever has written this essay, All he has to do is, he or she has to do is read pages from any textbooks and focus on where plural words are used, singular and plural, and do a research on it.
Proofreading.
Proofreading is must, but you need to understand why you made a mistake. The person should understand. So employees to work hard in their field work and achieve higher post in near future. And this remuneration, if these remuneration is okay, this is it this or these, I'm not sure. It has to be this this. There is a typo of e. If this remuneration is equally paid to everyone at all levels, then nobody will be putting extra efforts. As a result, okay, this is a little bit partially O, so it should be A. As a result, it becomes hard to continue the growth of company. Little bit confusion here for longer period of time. So paying more salaries to senior managers not only creates desiredness to work hard with full dedication, hard work, and a sense of team members among the employees, but also you can put a comma because it is a coordinating conjunction, but also influence the person. Okay, is this persons? This is wrong. Also influence the people, you can say workers, the person can say workers. Person is singular plural, because if everyone wants to earn more as much as his director, then he knows what he has to reach to get what kind of salary. Okay, I would recommend that this should be avoided. What I can say is this sentence started somewhere here, and there is no full stop whatsoever. It's just being dragged and dragged and dragged. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
It's almost a paragraph, a single sentence. So see, it's not about the length of your sentences. Your length should be moderate. It should be there. I'm not saying length should not be there, but try to keep accuracy in your head. Accuracy is much better than length. So accuracy is better than length.
Yes, sir.
I cannot see many connectors. That is something that I've noticed. So if I were you, I would have, if I were the person who has written, sorry, I would have started with to commence with. So it shows the examiner that you know how to start. Another thing is I need to see a few connectors. So I need connectors like, sorry, someone said something.
Okay.
Additionally, moreover, furthermore. Can you see these connectors? These are all connectors to add more information. So I'll write it over here, to add more information. And there are connectors to add more contrast. What do you mean by contrast? Any idea? Contrast, to contrast someone, to oppose something, or to say on the other side. So you can say on the contrary. Then you can say on the other hand. This can be used as a discourse marker as well. You can say, can you guys remember of anything else? On the contrary, on the other hand. Although is one of the conjunction you can use.
Yes.
To contradict your own speech within itself.
Conclusion.
Sorry?
Conclusion.
No, that is not a connector. Conclusion is a discourse marker. Okay, I'll simplify discourse markers and connectors. These are used to connect sentences, and discourse markers are used to show the person that this is where we are heading to. So if I write discourse markers, I would say to commence with is a discourse marker. For example, is a discourse marker. To conclude is a discourse marker.
Yes, sir.
Clearly? Correct. So you need to mention, this person needs to mention more of them, so it becomes a little bit more easier to understand. Another part is I never saw a single example.
Yes, sir. ये मैंने भी
Example
देखा.
is missing. So make sure at least one example is there. One example should be there. Let's go further. Moving
सर
further.
सर ये
Sorry.
मैंने पहले मतलब आज ही किया है. मैं
Mm-hmm.
ऐसे ही करता हूँ जैसे आप टू कमेंट्स भी
Hmm.
कह रहे थे. ये अपेरेंटली वाला
Hmm.
फर्स्ट टाइम मैंने यूज किया है, तो ये यूज
Now,
नहीं करना चाहिए ना.
see, it's not like you should not use. You can either use this or this, but to commence with is far better. To begin with,
ओके
it
सर.
says to begin with. इसका मतलब ही है begin.
ओके.
Got it? And apart from that, try to add more grammatical range with accuracy. Your grammar is good. It's not bad. Your sentence structures are good. This was one of the errors. This is a lengthy sentence. The length is way too big. Correct? Compound complex के अंदर भी कुछ और है. वो नहीं होना चाहिए. Let's go further. Moving further. Every senior. Okay. What is this paragraph about? Agreeing with the topic.
एग्री.
This paragraph is agree. And what is this paragraph?
ये भी एग्री.
Agree. So there is a word that you can use that is similarly. Instead of moving further. Moving further means you are like pushing further. It sounds like that. But if you use similarly, that means that you are saying that you are writing the same thing. It is not a different thing. You're writing about the same thing because you're agreeing and agreeing.
ओके
Clear?
सर.
It makes it sound more easier and understandable. So similarly, every senior managers have some right and responsibility. Change these words like some, few, and all these things. Try to use certain.
ओके.
Certain means some.
कुछ एक. यस. मैं नोट कर देता हूँ सर.
Yeah, I'll be sending this PDF. Don't worry. I'll be sharing this PDF in the group. So no need to worry about that. Yeah. Certain rights. It's not a single right. It's always rights and responsibilities. And they are... Okay, can you see this? Just beside that R, can you see the line? It's something that you rubbed, but it is still there. So try to remove it if you are rubbing things.
Okay.
It should not contradict with your writing. So are the decision makers this should be run the organization. To explain it more, you can say elaborating further. Each decision, whether it is related to give any work to their what is this
Subordinate.
subordinates
हाँ,
try
यही
to
कर
do
रहा
or
हूँ.
to perform some important work. Remove simple lexicals. Important. What are the synonyms?
Crucial, vital, pivotal. पता
So
है
what happened
सर.
during the test? There are more. Like if I write, there are so many more. So use them.
यस सर, ध्यान
Work.
रखूंगा.
You can say significant work.
Significant.
Decision. Yeah, okay. In this one, important is correct. So don't change this one. This is correct, but you should know the synonyms. Whenever it is
Okay.
helpful, you can use it there. All these carry out important work decisions. This is wrong. Are carried out.
Okay.
By the senior citizens. Senior citizens. Senior officials or managers.
नहीं, सीनियर सिटीजन नहीं आ. था।
Senior citizen कहाँ से? How would you say
नहीं
senior citizens of the company? Senior officials, I can say officials, partners, employees.
ओके सर।
If you refer to senior citizens, they might be a part of company, they might not be a part of company.
ओके
And these require a lot of proper analysis before putting any plan into action, and all these require a lot of time and hard work. Apart from this, okay, that's a good one. A person can achieve high posts due to their consistent practice and a lot of experience, therefore paying higher salaries according to high right.
नहीं गलत है।
What is high right? Confusion. And responsibility to top level managers. Instead of is necessary, you can write something like this is just a suggestion. Should be made mandatory. Does it sound better?
ओके सर।
You're giving a suggestion. They're asking you for one, so why not give one? In conclusion, the difference in the salaries of senior managers. Okay, there is something that I always ask students to follow. Whenever you draw the conclusion, this part is important. The reason is, by the time the examiner reaches this area, the examiner already knows what your score is, what your bands are, and I even know your score, and you don't have to worry about your writing task. The thing is, just follow the things that I asked you to do, and you can
क्यों
expect a
मिस्टेक्स
score.
को देखना पड़ेगा।
Got it? So just make sure that you apply these mistakes, these changes. The most important part is examiner knows what your score is. They will score you here. In their head, they will score you right here. But if they see a conclusion that is terrible, then your paper is gone. Then they might reduce the score from this to lower. So what I recommend everyone to do is, before you even write the conclusion, go back to the question, read it once again, read your introduction, because introduction will tell you what you agreed with or disagreed with or whatever it is, plus your thesis, and then start writing your introduction. Because I've checked essays in which the introduction says that the person completely agrees, and by the time they reach conclusion, they will say that I disagree, or they will say partially. So if this happens, the whole essay
कंक्लूजन में पार्शली का रोल
नहीं करना चाहिए. You should not do this, because it clearly says agree or disagree. यहाँ पे और दिया है. They have clearly mentioned or. So it's better to go with one.
वन साइड।
Yes. You can do partially, but your argument should be strong enough.
ओके
It's better to play safe in IELTS. In life, you can take risks, but not for IELTS.
नो नो सर।
In conclusion, the difference in the salaries of senior managers and other employees act as a source of inspiration. Did you write slash?
हाँ यस कोई भी वर्ड ये
कभी
वैसे ही
ना.
लिखा है।
Never ever do that.
कौन सा यूज कर सकते हैं? मैंने वैसे लगाया ये।
Inspiration or. Use simple words. Never use slashes. Slashes कभी नहीं होना चाहिए. There should never be a single slash. Inspiration or encouragement to the junior level subordinates in the company. Okay, you need better words to conclude. There are words like thus, thereby, therefore. Try to show this one so you can use
बट
here.
सर मैंने देयर फोर 2 बार यूज कर दिया, इंट्रो में भी और बॉडी पैराग्राफ में भी, तो
Then
इसलिए
use this
यूज
one.
नहीं किया।
Okay na? Thereby paying higher remuneration. You can change this to wages, because you already used this one. To managers is crucial. I cannot see a full stop, but I believe there is one.
यस वेजेस आ सकती है सर इसमें।
Wages मतलब क्या है?
सैलरी तो सुना है, सैलरी
Salary, wages, remuneration, incentives, perks.
इंसेंट।
Got my point? So that, my friend, is I wouldn't say great writing task, but you are on the track. Like, you are almost on track. There are a few things that you need to implement. You need to show more connectors. You need to add more accurate grammar intentionally. Correct? Accuracy is the key. Lexicals are good related to the topic. You were thoroughly on the point. Examples were missing in the second paragraph as well.
Okay.
So you lose bands for task response. Cohesion and
Company.
coherence, you can easily score a little bit more bands in CC by adding more connectors. Correct?
Okay.
And the last part is we completed task response. I told you what you did. You did well in this one. CC, as I said, there is more scope to score over here. When it comes to lexical resource, you can add like a few more lexicals, whichever you feel is appropriate for this topic. And the last part is GRA. This
लेक्सिकल यही है सर, एक मिनट, लेक्सिकल रिसोर्सेज यही हैं जो आपने बताया, फर्दर मोर ये
नहीं
जो है?
नहीं 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 वो सारे कनेक्टर्स है. इफ यू स्टार्ट यूजिंग देम यू विल गेट बैंड्स फॉर सीसी, नॉट फॉर एलआर. लेक्सिकल
एलआर
रिसोर्स
का
मतलब वोकैबुलरी. टॉकिंग अबाउट वोकैब्स.
अच्छा सर,
Lexical
ओके,
resource are always of two types.
बता दो सर, वो भी ध्यान में रखूंगा.
There is always fancy lexical and there is always topic related lexicals. I'm going to show you topic related ones. So resources on the website. I'll go to extra resources and vocabulary section. I'll go to one of the topics. Sorry?
ये भी है क्या सर?
Sorry? नहीं समझ में आया.
ओके, आपने
ये
ये
वेबसाइट
भी
से लिया.
प्रोवाइड. अच्छा, ये
हाँ, this
वेबसाइट.
is on the website. वेबसाइट पे फ्री पे है, फ्री में है. It's available for free. So all you have to do is research this topic. So you can see air pollution, water pollution, जो भी है, whatever you want. Research it, read the causes, effects, solutions, whatever there is. These are the main points. Once you have this, you can start writing by your own.
सर इसमें सिनोनियम्स भी हैं जैसे आपने बताया, क्रूशियल, वाइटल,
No. Those are the fancy ones.
फैंसी.
Important, significant. Can you use vital, significant, crucial, and all those words in many different topics?
Yes sir, I use the such kind of word in my speaking module.
Exactly. You can use it for different topics. But when it comes to environment, there is a separate set of vocabulary that can only be used in environment. So as I said, research and master both these topics, both these sides of lexicals. One is topic related as well as the fancy ones.
सर एक क्वेश्चन था, हम एग्जाम्पल कैसे दे सकते हैं? मुझे एग्जाम्पल
Okay.
देना नहीं है.
I'm glad you asked. Let me share that as well. Just give me a second. I'll grab my.
ओके सर.
Okay, found it. Is it visible?
Yes sir.
All right. Do not take screenshots. I'm just kidding. Take as many screenshots as possible. Right. So these are some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to writing examples. So the first one is do not give personal examples.
Yes sir.
For example, my little brother is always on his phone using social media or playing games. This is not the right way to give or share examples in your writing task. The second way that you should not do is you should not include any survey or research, because these surveys and these research and percentages cannot be verified by the examiner. They cannot go on the internet. Most probably it will be wrong. So it doesn't make sense. So if someone writes a example like this, it would sound something like, for example, according to a recent survey, it was seen that 72% of the teenagers are addicted to their cell phone. Is it true? I just made it up. This is not true.
सर
Correct? So
मैंने
this is not relevant.
आईडीपी की वेबसाइट भी देखा है, आप जो बता रहे हो सही बता रहे हो.
ये exactly ये मैंने change भी नहीं किया. This is exactly what they have shared. I'm not even changing it. And the last part is, okay, this is something that I wrote by myself. Share only, okay, and even in the question they say, share only relevant examples from your own knowledge and experience. So I'm saying the same example. I'm saying the same thing about my little brother who is always using his cell phone to use social media. To cite an instance for this, in my country, I changed it to from my little brother to my country. It is commonly seen that numerous teenagers, so my little brother is a teenager,
Okay, sir.
I changed it to numerous teenagers have been the victims of social media and game addiction. The same thing. I'm not changing anything. Which is a dire means serious. Dire is a fancy lexical. This can be used for different topics. So dire issues, and parents are trying their level best to curb it. Curb means to control it. And this is how you should write examples. Clear?
Okay.
And write down all these
सर
words. You can change. You
सर
can
आपके
practice.
सर आपके पास और भी कोई मतलब और भी एग्जांपल है क्या ऐसे?
Yes, I do. Okay, पहले इसका स्क्रीनशॉट ले लिया.
रुको सर एक बार ले लेंगे.
Sure.
यस सर ले लिया.
Done. I think there are other people. I'm not sure कौन है आज. आज सिर्फ आप दोनों ही है. So Lucas, done with the screenshot?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Let's go to the second one. There are more examples. These I've extracted from the essays that I have written. Can you see the word lucid?
Yes sir.
I wouldn't recommend it. I used to use this word, but it's kind of like way too like cliche. So I would recommend avoiding that.
Lucid का मतलब क्या होता है एक बार बताओ.
उसका मतलब clear. It is lucid. That means it is clear. Right? And then the last part. Okay, let's read these ones. So for instance, today's generation has raised their expectations and has set a minimum criteria when it comes to celebrating marriages. They hire fashion designers and event managers to make the ceremony stand out from the crowd and to flaunt on social networking sites. So this is not personal. Neither this is a survey. So this is okay. This is a good one. Right? You can also say, for example, if an indigent parent, indigent means poor. So if an indigent parent dares to celebrate this big day, I'm still taking the same example from the same essay, dares to celebrate this big day, I'm talking about marriages, by taking huge loans, they will end up paying for the rest of their lives. Another way to say is exemplifying further. When can you use exemplifying further? Can we give the first example by saying exemplifying further?
Okay.
We should not give it as first example. It should be second example. There should be one example in between, like before that, and then you can say exemplifying further. So exemplifying further, the government has already started subsidizing the purchase of electric motor vehicles and cycles to promote a cleaner environment owing to the future generations. That means for the future generations. A lucid example would be that government in our country grants access to all the blueprints of the residential area when the residents formally request it. Screenshot. Done?
Okay. सर ये लास्ट वाला जो एग्जांपल दे रखा है ये यूज नहीं करना है ना?
ये मतलब try to avoid this word. Try to not use the word lucid. I kept it there so that I can show students that okay, you should not use like way too fancy words. One of my students, I do remember, that person used on the darker side. Do you think that's a great lexical? On the darker side.
Sir,
should we use it?
Advantages? No, sir.
See, the reason we should not use it is because we are not talking about Shakespeare or we are not talking about a melodrama. This is IELTS academic essay. Correct? That is the reason this should be avoided. Or else that's completely fine. If you're writing your own biography, go ahead and use all the lexicals you can find, but not for IELTS essays. So, are you more confident now? I am confident that you will clear this test if you like just apply these things, these simple tactics.
Okay.
Got it?